Hit it.
Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Welcome, welcome back. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Welcome, welcome back. I am so glad you joined me. Hello, everyone. Welcome back, my beloved kings and queens. All praises go to the Most High Yah. Thank you, Father, for allowing me to see another day. Okay, y'all, so good morning, afternoon, or night, whenever you are watching this video. My name is Joyce McTeer, and I'm going to be your host for another Crafty Vision segment. So today I'm going to show y'all how to make some paper wood earrings, okay, using this paper that I purchased from Dollar General. So if y'all can remember this paper pad, this is a paper pad that I showed y'all. See all those different types of designs? I showed y'all this maybe about a month ago. And this is one of the papers that came out of this paper pad. And as a matter of fact, it's this one right here. So I'm going to show y'all today. And I got this from Dollar General for $5. I'm going to show y'all today how I make paper wood earrings, okay? Now, you're going to need, of course, some paper, whatever paper you choose to use. You're also going to need some scissors. This is going to be your shape that you're going to cut out, okay? So you're going to need a disc. This disc is 3 by 3. It's a nice size round wood disc, okay? And you can purchase these from Walmart. You're going to need, of course, a paintbrush, a pen or a pencil, whichever you have. Your round nose pliers, your wire cutters. You're going to need 2 fish hooks, okay? You're going to need some Mod Podge. Of course, I'm going to be using my Alene's Tacky glue. You're going to need an awl, something to make your hole. The next thing you're going to need is 2 8mm or 10mm wood beads, whichever size you want them to be, okay? And this is the color that I'm using, like a neutral color. And 2 buttons. And then this is going to be the paint that I'm using. I want to make sure that I get my sides really, really good, okay? So that's pretty much all what you are going to need. So, oh, and did I say wire? I'm sorry, y'all. And you're going to need some 20 gauge artistic wire, or whatever wire you have. It doesn't necessarily have to be artistic. It could be whatever 20 gauge wire you have. So now let's go ahead and get started. Okay, y'all, so the next thing that I did was I went on and painted this, okay? Because this was a process that takes some time. It has to dry and all of that. And before, you know, I painted it, I decided to trace my 2 pieces, okay? So I want y'all to see. Now this part that I'm going to show y'all is very important. Now, when you are cutting out your shapes, your circles, whenever you trace something, right, you always make it bigger. It's always going to be bigger than the actual shape itself, okay? Because you're going on the pretty much on the outside of it, tracing it. So when you cut it normally on the lines, you'll have paper that will be overlapping your piece, okay? So basically, when I cut mines, right, I go in just like this, and I leave about that much, you see that, around. Now, I'm going to show y'all exactly how this is going to come out. And you just take this all the way around. And as you can see what I'm doing, I'm moving real slow, y'all. Very slow. Trying to keep my eye on what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to take it all the way around. as you can see. Just like this. Alrighty. Now when I get there, you see that little point? So you want to just try to get rid of that. And if you see any others like that, okay, now that's my circle. Now now you see that, how I cutted it? Now what you're gonna have next is, this is what you're gonna have. All right, and I'm gonna show you, this is how it's gonna fit on your circle. See how perfect that is? That's perfect right in there, and you won't have anything overlapping your wood piece, okay? Nothing is overlapping, okay? It's on there, and it's going to be on there perfectly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece out, and I will be right back. So now I have my two pieces. Now what I want to say, the reason why I painted this, okay, is so that just in case if you cut this and you see some of that pink showing, instead of it being the white showing of the actual disc bead itself, this is going to give it a better contrast. See that? So it's a win-win all the way around, okay? So now what we're going to do next, I have a little rag here to wipe my hands on, and we're going to go ahead and glue this on. Now my suggestion to you, when you make a decision and you start gluing these on, right, the front and the back, make sure that you let this dry completely before you put a hole in it. Before you put the hole in it, you can put the hole in it now if you want to, but the thing about it is, if you put the hole in it now, you're not going to remember where the hole is because it's going to be covered up. So, see what I'm doing? Excuse my nose, y'all. And then I'm going to take this piece and just place it just like this. All right, try to get it in the center. Okay, y'all, so this is pretty much, this is the front, and we're going to go ahead and add this piece onto the back. Now, whenever you are doing anything like this where you have like the shapes and all that stuff, right, you got to make sure that the back piece lines up with the front piece. So this right here where I have my fingers is my top, my front, the up and down. So I'm just going to flip it this way so that I can remember, see where my fingers are? I'm going to place it just like this so that it can be lined up with the front and the back. So that's the front, that's the back. They are both lined up together. See that? The front, the back, front, the back, okay? Now what you have to do with this is I'm going to let this dry. Okay, y'all, so here is this is a different, same thing, but the color is different. Okay, so this is a piece that I let completely dry, okay? Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my awl and I'm going to put a hole in this, okay? I'm going to put a hole in it so I can go ahead and attach it. Attach my wire to it and my bead, okay? So I'm gonna take my awl, and you can come anywhere, try to get, you don't wanna go too far up at the top. So I'm gonna come about right here, and I'm gonna stick that down in there like that, and just wiggle it just a little bit. And you gotta be careful because if you do it too hard, you can pop the wood, and you don't want to pop the wood. All right, so there you have it, y'all. See that? Got my hole in there. And now I'm gonna take my wire, stick it through, and I'm going to pinch my wire up just like this. Okay, pinching it up. Okay, y'all, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my button on. So I'm gonna place on my button, just like this. And believe it or not, the button, by me putting a button there, that's gonna really hold this into place, okay? And then I add on this, which is the bead, okay? And I bring them both down like this, okay? All right, make it as tight as I can make it. And then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my round nose pliers and I'm gonna come here, bring these two pieces together and make a loop, just like that. And I'm gonna come here and then start wrapping that around just like this. Okay, come all the way back over again, like that. And then when you get to the back, see that? Then you can snip this off. So let's just snip this off right here. Okay. And then I'm gonna take my pliers and I'm gonna snip it a little bit. Let's just say. Okay, all right. Perfect. So here you have it. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use our good old Mod Podge. Now the Mod Podge, we're going to put that on. I'm going to pour a little bit in my cap. Wait a minute, let me shake this up because I've had this for some time and excuse me. All right. Whoop. Too much. Okay, because I ain't gonna really need a lot of this. Okay, so I'm gonna take my paintbrush, okay, and I have, now these are good. These are good. I bought this from Family Dollar. And basically what I'm gonna do is once I paint it, I'm gonna set it in there just like that. See that? Now, the one thing that I love about Mod Podge, y'all, is that Mod Podge, it dries clear. Now, I am going to say this. Now, I'm only speaking from my experience as far as the triple thick on stuff like this. I have tried to use triple thick on doing projects like this, and sometimes it makes the paper bubble. Okay, now if you want to use triple thick, it's completely up to you on what you decide that you want to do for your earrings. But from my experiences, when I try to use the triple thick on paper like this, it bubbles, and I don't want that bubble effect. I want it to be nice and smooth. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, even though, like I said, Mod Podge, it may go on white, it's gonna dry clear. Okay, it's gonna dry clear. Okay, all right, y'all. So I'm gonna let this dry and then I'll be back. Okay, y'all, so here is our end results. Okay, this is what it looks like once it dries. All right, I love it. Okay, So it is so many different things that you can do with those paper pads, y'all. And you can put paper, you can make paper earrings, okay? But the thing that makes these really different, and I'm going to tell you, is that when you use your Mod Podge, right? If you see, it says it's a water-based glue and sealer finish. So that means that if these get wet in the rain, okay, if they get wet in the rain, if they get any kind of water on them, the paper won't, these won't be messed up. So with that being said, could y'all please make sure that you thumbs up this video so that this video can go into rotation. And I want to say thank you to my new supporters and my loyal supporters, y'all. This is another idea. If you're looking for an idea to get started doing something with your business, this is another idea right here, all right? So with that being said, thank y'all so much for watching. And until my next upload, peace and blessings, everyone. See ya.